Welcome back to the English Pulse. I'm James.
And I'm Chloe. We're so glad you've joined us for part 2 of our deep dive into Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money.
Chloe, I have to be honest. My legs are absolutely killing me today. I'm walking like a penguin.
Oh no, did you finally try that successful person 5 a.m. workout we talked about?
Not exactly. You know how I used to spend hours every night hunched over my desk, day trading trendy stocks and reading every single financial update? I was constantly worried, checking my phone at 2 a.m., and honestly, I wasn't sleeping at all.
That sounds exhausting. Housel says the only financial plan that matters is the one that actually helps you sleep at night.
Exactly. So I decided to take his advice. Instead of checking all the money news for hours, I've been hitting the gym after work. I feel so refreshed. My legs are sore because I'm actually physically tired, which led to the best sleep score I've ever had. I feel like I have more energy during the day than I ever did staring at a screen.
That's such a healthy shift. For me, the lesson that struck me hardest was moving the goalposts. In English, this idiom means constantly changing your targets so you're never satisfied. I realized I do this with my professional goals. As soon as I hit a milestone, I immediately looked at the next level and felt behind again.
It's a never-ending cycle, but that leads us perfectly into today's big topics: the actual price of investing, why we need room for error, and why pessimism is so incredibly seductive.
I want to stop and say something specifically for our female listeners. Often, women tend to avoid money talk, preferring to focus on emotions or our relationships with friends and children. But being knowledgeable about financial decisions isn't just about numbers. It's what makes us confident and independent. Housel's point that money is a store of experience and a tool for freedom is so empowering for women who want to control their own time.
I totally agree. My mom was always completely dependent on my father for every financial decision, and I saw how that limited her options. Learning this stuff is about freedom, not just math. Now, let's talk about the price of investing. Housel says the price of success isn't just dollars, it's volatility. Volatility refers to the frequent and often scary ups and downs in the market.
Right. It's like a fee you pay to compound your wealth. To compound means to let your small gains grow bigger and bigger on top of each other over a long time. But to get that growth, you have to stay in the game, which means being able to survive the bad times without quitting.
That's where room for error comes in. Chloe, introduce that phrase for us.
Housel calls it a margin of safety. This is a buffer or a gap between what you think will happen and what could go wrong. It's about planning for the plan, not going according to plan.
I needed that years ago. I had no backup plan when my car broke down, and because I didn't have a margin of safety, I had to raid my savings.
That is the perfect example of why you need a margin of safety. Housel says your plan should only be successful if it can survive the things you didn't plan for.
It makes sense why we get so nervous, but Chloe, why is pessimism so seductive? In English, seductive means something is very tempting or attractive.
Because pessimism sounds like someone trying to help you, while optimism sounds like a sales pitch.
That's right. When someone says the world is ending, we think they're a genius. But when someone says things will get better, we think they're a salesman.
Because pessimism is seductive, it sounds smarter. If I tell you a recession is coming, I sound like I'm protecting you. If I tell you to be optimistic, I sound like I'm trying to sell you a dream.
While pessimism gives all the headlines, though, Housel points out that optimism is what actually helps you compound your wealth over time.
That is so true. He uses himself as an example here, right? His strategy is almost boringly simple and optimistic. He uses low-cost index funds and focuses on staying financially unbreakable rather than getting rich quickly. He doesn't pick individual stocks or try to time the market. He just uses low-cost index funds and believes in dollar-cost averaging, which just means he keeps buying no matter if the market is up or down. He isn't trying to get rich quickly, he's trying to stay financially unbreakable.
So he's essentially paying a price for his peace of mind.
Exactly. That leads us to the price of investing. Housel has this famous confession. He owns his house outright, no mortgage.
Now, I have to push back a bit on Housel here. He says he owns his home with no mortgage. To me, that seems a bit, well, irrational. My brother follows the Robert Kiyosaki rich dad method, where you use mortgages as leverage to buy more assets. Mathematically, with low interest rates, Housel is leaving a lot of money on the table by not having a mortgage.
You're right, mathematically, it's irrational, but Housel argues it is reasonable. Being rational means following pure logic, but being reasonable means doing what makes you feel secure. He values the peace of mind of owning his home more than the extra 2% return he might get in the stock market.
I guess I see his point, but I'd still rather have the extra cash. My brother would say Housel is being too cautious.
Perhaps, but his ultimate goal isn't to be the richest person. It's independence. He chooses to spend money on his time rather than luxury goods to impress others. Controlling your time is the ultimate dividend money pays. A dividend is usually a payment from a stock, but here it means the ultimate reward or benefit.
I love that distinction. It's okay to make a financial choice that isn't the math best choice if it's the sleep best choice. High savings plus low-cost index funds equals no debt equals total freedom.
Exactly. To everyone listening, have you ever made a decision that was irrational on paper, maybe buying something or staying in a certain job, but it felt completely reasonable for your peace of mind? We'd love to hear your stories in the comments.
Before we wrap up, let's do a quick pulse check on our vocabulary.
Volatility. Example, investors must accept the volatility of the stock market if they want to see long-term growth.
Account for. This means to consider or include something in your plan. When you save for a house, you have to account for hidden costs like taxes and repairs.
Compound your wealth. If you start saving in your 20s, you give your money decades to compound your wealth through time.
Stay in the game. In a tough career, the most important thing is to manage your stress so you can stay in the game long enough to succeed.
Hindsight. This is the ability to understand an event only after it has happened. In hindsight, I should have known that staying up all night would make me grumpy, but I did it anyway.
We've all been there. Managing money is a soft skill where how you behave is more important than what you know.
If you enjoyed this series, please subscribe to the English Pulse for more global stories and book talks.
Stay informed, stay fluent, and keep feeling the pulse. Does your current financial plan help you sleep at night? Or are you playing someone else's game? Think about it.